Hey everybody, good evening and welcome back to Mad Horse Barbecue. My name is Brian, and in today's video, you probably guessed it already, we're gonna fire up my original PK grill and smoker here, and we're gonna just do some bone-in pork chops. These are thick cut bone-in pork chops, or at least that's what the package says. They're all about 3/4 of a pound, maybe a little heavier, maybe a little light, but there's 4 of them we're gonna cook up today. And the way we're gonna cook them up is we're gonna do coal on one side, cool zone on the other side. We're gonna get some nice grill marks on it because that's typically how I do my pork chops and my steaks. Do the grill lines taste better? Well, that's all a matter of opinion. I think they do, but they probably really don't. I think they look cool for one, and that's just my preferred method as a late to cook, stuff like that. So I'm gonna go over just how I set the grill up, how I get them lines, and yeah, you know, when it comes to pork chops, I don't think I have a single pork chop video out there. I might have a few pork loin videos, but I don't know if I have any actual pork chop videos, and really just because, you know, it's a super simple cook. And like I said, my preferred method is on charcoal. You could just as easily do these on a pellet grill. Just set it to whatever you want to set it at, and you don't really even got to do anything. But on here, we're gonna do a little bit of turning, a little bit of burning, and then we're gonna move it over and give it a nice glaze at the end. So now without further ado, let me take you in, and I'm gonna show you how we get the charcoal going. I pretty much got a full chimney going here. I got some of these square, these are like the master built starters. Typically I like the Weber wax cubes, but again, I'm out of the Weber wax cubes and these work just fine. But when I'm using these in a chimney, I like using 4 of them. What I like to do is kind of just try to break it in half without breaking it. So kind of get it so it can stand up just like that. Both bottom vents open on the PK. Gonna get this lit. And then with these two, I like to make sure they're good and lit, because I think sometimes when you don't get these things lit good enough, they'll go out a lot of times compared to like the wax cubes. The wax cubes you can just barely put a flame to and they just, you know, they take off like that. But once these are lit, I'm gonna take my chimney, obviously put it right over here. And we'll let this burn for about anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. So when I'm dumping the coal, I'll pick back up. All right, the chimney has been going now for about 15-ish minutes. You can kind of see the flames are starting to shoot at the top. We still got some coal on top that hasn't been burned yet. That's plenty fine. We're gonna go ahead and dump it. Now, you know, like I said, how we're gonna do this is 2 zones on the PK. So we're gonna dump it, and we're just gonna kind of spread everything. We're gonna make like an imaginary line and keep all the coal on this side here. Just like that. Go ahead and get the grill grate on. I do have 2 chunks of apple wood there. I'm gonna throw that on before we cook. I always think I want to do wood, and then I never throw wood on. Got the grill grate on. Put the other grill grates on to get my nice lines. I'll leave links to all this stuff in the description. Yeah, I use these grill grates a lot. Go ahead and close it down. Like I said, both bottom vents are open. Both bottom vents are open. We're gonna open up both top vents, and we're gonna let this thing come up to temp. You know, typically with the PK, I like starting this up when I'm just doing steaks or chops or something, you know, something hot and fast. I like starting the grill up, meaning I like starting the chimney about 1 hour before I'm ready to put the food on. That just, you know, that's the time that works for me. If a half hour works for you, half hour works for you. But yeah, I like doing about 1 hour. So we're gonna leave both bottom ends open, both top ends open. We're just gonna kind of let this thing come up to temp and settle where it settles or climb where it climbs to. And yeah, you know what? The next thing to do is get the chops ready. So let's go ahead and do that. You can see we got our pork chops out. These are 4 bone-in pork chops. I do like doing the bone-in pork chops. I do think they taste better. Again, that's just personal preference. But these look pretty dang good. They're probably all about 3/4 of an inch thick, if not maybe even closer to an inch. But 1 rub today, 1 rub only, and that rub is the Ash Kickin' Honey Chipotle Barbecue Rub. For those of you who don't know, I am actually part of his KCBS competition barbecue team. He let me join up his team kind of sort of last year for maybe 1 comp, kind of got my feet wet. I did it on my own. And then this year I've been with him full time. We'll just say my name is Brian and I run the cans. But anyways, he's with Suckle Busters. This rub is made by Suckle Busters. You can already see that it's already probably about half, if not 3/4 of the way gone. I've absolutely been using this stuff on pretty much anything pork and chicken, and it is just absolutely fantastic. Including, I've been using this stuff on cucumbers too. You know, cucumbers has been my nighttime snack. TMI maybe, but oh well, this stuff's really good on cucumbers too. But we're gonna use the Ash Kickin' Barbecue Honey Chipotle Barbecue Rub on this, so we're just gonna go ahead and generously apply it to all 4 of the chops. The first thing you're gonna notice when you buy this rub, which I highly suggest you give it a try, but the first thing you're gonna notice is just the nice color that it gives your meat. And I've been saying it for a long time. I'm sure I'm not the only one that says it. I'm sure a lot of people say it, but you know, you eat with your eyes first. So if you're eating something that looks like it's gonna be good, it's probably gonna taste even better. But go ahead, give it a pat. Touch up little spots if you want. And with you know, as far as how heavy of a coat you put on, you just put on whatever you're comfortable with. And get the other side. And then with all that extra rub, I'm just gonna kind of go ahead and roll the sides in it. Kind of just coat the sides up a little bit. Okay, I'm just gonna let these things go ahead and hang out while the grill's coming up to temp, and we'll be picking back up when we are throwing them on. PK has been heating up now, probably for about 30, 40 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and take these 2 little chunks of apple wood here. I'm gonna put them right on top of the hot coals. I'm gonna give my grates a quick spray. And then it's about time to get the chops on. Okay, now that they're all on, I'm just gonna go ahead and use my steak weight here. Just give them all about a 3 press. Before I put these on, I did spray the one side with Pam cooking spray just to make that rub stick a little better. I'm gonna go ahead and close this thing down. I'm gonna take my time stack, set a timer for 1:15, and we will pick back up then. All right, time stack's going off. Go ahead and get these things flipped. What I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna get them all moved over to the cool side quick and clean my grates. That little couple wood chunks under there kind of started on fire. I could shut the bottom vents a little bit, but I should be fine. Go ahead and pick it up. We're gonna put them, flip them, we're gonna put them back on the other side. We're gonna get my nice 45-degree grill hatch marks, or try to. Go ahead, press them down. And set the timer for another 1:15. All right, timer's going off yet again. Get the chops moved to the cool side so I can clean the grate off. And what I'm gonna do this time is these two are a little bigger than these two, so I'm gonna try to do a big and a small and a big and a small to try to make it fit a little better. I do have 2 more grates that I could put on here, but I guess I don't think I'd be that cramped for space. Grates cleaned off, and I'm gonna spray with Pam. I forgot to do that on the last flip. You know, sometimes with the bone-in pork chops are a little more difficult to get. Whoops, and you know what? We gotta rotate like this time. They're a little more difficult to get the grill lines than the boneless ones. Go ahead, close it down. Let it go for another 1:15. All right, 1:15's up again. Time for another flip. So again, first things first, move them over to the cool side. Clean the grate off. Give them a coat of Pam. Get them back on. Close it down, let it go for another 1:15. The final 1:15 is over. So now we're gonna go ahead and take the chops and we'll move them over to the cool side. Take a quick internal on these, see where they're at. Usually pork chops like to pull off around 140, 145. Sitting at about 130. So I'm gonna close this down for just a sec. And I do like my chops with a little sauce, so we're gonna go ahead and use the Butcher BBQ Chipotle grilling sauce. I've already tried this stuff, it's pretty dang good. It should pair up, I don't know, I don't have the camera facing toward me, so I can't tell if it's in screen or not, but anyways, should be pretty good with this sauce, or should be pretty good with the rub, so some Chipotle chops coming right up. It's a little thick, I've had it sitting outside for about an hour, it's about 70 out here. One tip you can do if you know, you want sauce to spread really good, you know, is what you would do is you'd heat the sauce up first and thin it out. And then you'd get some really good spread. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and close this thing down, let these chops finish out on the cool side just like that. I like shutting this vent right here. And yeah, next time we'll pick up is when we're doing a taste test. All right, guys, we are back. Just do a little close up here real quick of the chops. See, my lines really didn't turn out on that one. That's all right, it'll eat just fine. I'll just be angry with that pork chop. Or angry with myself because I'm the one who didn't get it to work. But anyways, all 4 of the chops here are done. Well, looking pretty good. So now really, all there's left to do is go over to cook times and take a bite real quick. Cook times, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll just say about, the tossing and turning were about 5 minutes. I did 1:15 per flip and turn or whatever, and then I moved it over to the cool side, probably for about another 5 minutes. So let us say these chops were done in about 10 minutes, brought them up to an internal of about 140, let them sit here for about 10 minutes. They came up a little bit. They'll be plenty, they'll be plenty good. Super, super easy, quick and weekday cook. That PK grill of mine has got to be my absolute definitely top two. You know, in my favorite grills, you know, we'll just break it down to charcoal field and pellet field. Obviously, Pits and Spits would be my favorite pellet grill, but that PK is just my absolute. You can see it's just hanging out there in the background yet, cooling off before I put her to bed for tonight. But just my absolute favorite grill to just fire up anytime I'm doing anything hot and fast. Not for one, it's super easy to use, but for two, it's so quick to use, and the flavor you get off of it is just absolutely outstanding. Love the damn thing. Should last me a lifetime. So, without further ado, let's just go ahead and take a chop. And I was gonna fork into this, but give you another close up. See, I don't know, it's a little drippy. So let's just go ahead and bite right into this. That is absolutely fantastic. So a little secret here is I've actually had this rub before it was released because, you know, like I said, I am on his team for competition barbecue. And the one thing I noticed right away, besides the really good color you get out of it, because you get really, really, really good color out of this rub, but it's just a flavor you get. And sometimes I think people hear Chipotle and they think maybe a little spicy. And is there a kick to that rub? Yeah, but it's not like you bite into it and the heat just keeps building and building and building. It's a little back end heat, and it's, you know, it's really, I'm just gonna use the word, it's really delightful. And, you know, am I friends with the guy who developed the rub? Yeah, but for one, I wouldn't try to promote it if it wasn't good. And for two, I'm BD and he's little d. Don't worry about that. But anyways, that's about all I got for today. Like I said, I'll leave the link in the description. Again, it's the first time using this Butcher Butcher Chipotle grilling sauce. Really, really, really good. I'd suggest giving that a try too. Those two together were fantastic. So now besides that, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Hope this video was helpful, informative. If you wouldn't mind, give me a thumbs up. Tell your friends, tell your family about the channel. Hop on over and subscribe. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. You guys and girls have a good night. See you in the next video.